Okay. Good evening, Shaggy SoCal 2Old4Forza, and it's time to do the track guides for next week's tracks for the TNT Season 43 and the Hoonigan Focus. Looking at the schedule, it looks like this upcoming week is our Middle Eastern swing as we're racing at Marina South and then Dubai, the full circuit. Oh man. Um, I'm actually, I'll probably do the both tonight, but I want to start with Yas Marina South. I think this is going to be the second race for the evening, but um, mainly because it should take me less time. It's a shorter circuit, take less time to go through it, and Dubai's going to be interesting. So like always, I'm just going to go run a couple of laps, doing a quick take. Then I'll kind of slow it down, do kind of a more turn by turn, what I'm looking for, what the car seems to want to do, kind of what I think will work for it. And then I'm just going to run a mock race against the AI just so I can have some traffic out there, kind of see what I might be able to do with this car, as far as potential passing situations. Though I think for Yas, I think this track will suit this car a little bit better than some of the other ones, just because it is a little bit more of a point and shoot. So, but I'm going to stop talking. Let's get into the test drive here. Nice long front straightaway here. Definitely be in fourth gear. Brake all the way down. I'm probably not going to be looking to release the brake until I'm past where that pit road blend line is. That's across the track. Second gear through here. And try and abuse the curbs there. Outside curbs are a little deadly, so you kind of stay off those if you can. Quick brake and stay off the curbs. Of course, it's still probably cold tires. Second gear, a lot of second gear corners, a lot of slow second gear corners. Second gear here, whoop, a little wide. Up to third. Quick brake, turn in. Heavy braking there. That turns notorious as far as me, carrying too much speed in and then pushing really wide. So let's do a flyer. I'll probably do two flyers. It's a quick enough lap. I could probably be a little more aggressive on the brake there. You notice that a lot of cases I'm really not stabbing the throttle unless in second gear, if you stab the throttle, you can get the back of the brake loose a little bit. It's still a little shallow there. But unless I'm trying to make the back of the car, rotate, I'm just rolling back into the throttle and not really committing until I know the car's, for the most part, straight. The downshift earlier might be better. We'll do one more. I'll try not to miss shifts. I'll get that eventually. And I'll get that eventually too. Okay, so let's talk about at least what I've learned so far at Yas. So you're going to be in fourth gear, screaming down the front stretch here. For me, the braking zone, as far as where I want to really commit to the brakes and looking for additional looking for additional kind of static references, so I'm not solely relying on the braking line. But and I'm gonna actually, let's point this way and look this way, so you can see the end of the arm code there with the red and white kind of attenuator there at the end of it. That's what I'm kind of looking for as I'm heading down the front stretch. So as that goes up, excuse me, as that goes out of view, that kind of correlates with where the braking line starts. It's also just before the 150 board. So for me, that's about where I think if you're going to commit to getting on the brakes, it's about the latest you can do it and still make the corner. So it is heavy braking down fourth, down to second, brake, 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 brake. As I'm getting close to the to turn in, I am trying to spot the apex of the first corner, and I actually, especially as I get closer, I may start to just barely turn the wheel to start to arc the car in. But it's usually, I'm really not getting off the brakes until I'm past the line. Probably about here is where I'll fully release the brakes, and if I've done my job right, the car will be slowed down enough, the front tires will grip really nicely, then I can just turn the car in. And I'm going to try and abuse that curbing as much as I can. Same thing here. It's still second gear. Just roll into the throttle a little bit. It's just about balancing the throttle and trying to take this as straight as possible. After you get off the apex there, roll back into the throttle. Up, still in second. Brake. I tend to late apexes. I tend to square this one up. As you can kind of see, the apex of the corner and the exit, it crests up over, so you're kind of falling off a little bit on the exit. So again, I'll try to clip that corner as I can. And what I said earlier is like, I'll roll back into the throttle out. But if I find that the car is really still kind of pointed, I'm still pointed mostly towards the edge of the track, I might, be a little more aggressive, in second gear. That will spin the rear of the car up, and it'll just give it that little bit of rotation to kind of, and then at that point, the front wheels will then pull you out of it. But it'll be enough to kind of help, you know, get the little bit of extra rotation on the car if you need it on exit. But it will come all the way out here. Again, the curbing here, try and stay off the curbing on exits and entry. It is enough to upset the car, especially, and again, on entry, if you're on those curbings when you're under braking or just about ready to turn in, it'll unsettle it enough, and this car doesn't need any help to understeer. But again, second gear, third gear, up. So again, you want to bring it out here, give yourself some room. Again, stay off the outside curbing here. And what I'm trying to do is, if I can turn in right, I'm going to turn the car in, and I'm going to get to the apex here. I'm going to try and get as close to the curbing as I can, but stay off of it. Again, it will hop the car a little bit, but I'll be full throttle. When I get to this point, I'm going to kind of straighten out a little bit, or just take a little bit of the steering out. I'm going to brake, and it's a quick brake. It's not, watch my replays a couple of times, or watch during here of how much I'm giving. For me, again, I don't pay attention and say give it 75% brake or 50% brake. It's kind of done by feel. I'm just trying to scrub enough speed, and what I've been noticing is when I do the quick brake, I'm only on it until I just about get under the Marina sign that's mostly above the car now. So it's usually releasing the brake here, and if I've done it right, the car will just kind of nicely on its own drift out. I won't have to really do a lot of steering with it. The car, again, letting the car do the work, and just kind of let it take the nice gentle arc. I might feather back into the gas a little bit, again, done by feel. Just get to the inside here, bring the car out. And again, I don't have any static reference points here, so kind of relying on the braking line a little bit to know when to brake. This is down to second gear. And again, I want to brake in a straight line, so that when I release the brakes, I can turn in. And this is the other one. I want to try and abuse these apex of these next couple of corners as much as I can. So out, little goose to the throttle. Probably not. It'll be rare. I think, unless I make a mistake out of a previous corner, I don't know that I'm really going to be getting back to full throttle at all for these little short shoots between corners. It's just enough to keep the car moving, get a little acceleration, brake, turn in, attack the inside curbing, a little bit of gas, brake, attack the inside curbing, and then roll back into the throttle. This will be up to third gear. My braking for the last set of corners is right where the curbing starts. So I'm going to get on the binders here. And now that probably won't be there in the race, but the 50 board I'm kind of using as the reference it's basically like I'm getting on the brakes and I want to release just after I pass the 50 board. I would say, you can note the pavement change here in front of the car, but at speed, you're not going to see that. So if the 50 board's still there, use that. But as I get off the brakes, I'm going to turn the car in. I'll probably clip this a little bit. And you can do this first part in the third gear. You can drop it to second if you want to, get more of the engine braking or the gearing to help slow the car down. But as soon as you get past the apex and right before you get to this line, you're going to want to get back on the brakes down to second. And this is where I've been a bit inconsistent. If you get it right, you should be able to, in second gear, abuse. This is definitely a curbing because it's painted. It's not rough at all. You can really take advantage of crossing over the line there. And I'm going to try and keep it neat. As you saw in my demo laps, I was going in with too much speed and the car just kind of understeered all the way out. And again, I just all right, fine. I pushed out, just front tires grip back up, get the car turned and roll back into the throttle. But if I do it right, I'm going to try and get it maybe about mid-track and try to bring the car back across so I can clip here. And I have the car along the inside, of the, hug the inside here. Again, shortening the distance. It might be good for a couple of hundreds, but I like shortening the distance if I can. Now, what I talked about before is I think in the race, I'm going to, out of that first kind of bend, I'm going to bring the car back out to the middle of the track as I cross start finish. And then, as it kinks again, I'll just let the car just kind of naturally with a little bit of steering, bring it back out to the right side to set up the braking for the first turn. Now, if you want to hug the inside all the way, if you want to hug the left side all the way past start finish, and then when it makes that second kink, then bring the car back over, you're fine to do that. You just got to be careful because you're going to come back across the track really quickly, and you're going to probably have to make a final adjustment to get the car straight right when you need to get to the brakes. And it's very easy to get on the outside curbs as you're getting to the brakes. And again, now you've got half the car going up and down and the other half not. It'll upset the car and you'll probably, miss your turn in and go into the runoff area. Thankfully, pretty generous runoff areas here at Yas. But that's Yas South. It's very short track, and when we're talking, I think I haven't looked at the lap times from the rest of the season, but I think this is actually the shortest track we're on. I don't know. I think Maple Valley short might have been quicker laps, but we're looking at. I'm running in the minutes. I don't know if I'll be able to break a minute and get into the 59s, but short track, not too many turns, good point and shoot. Hopefully, it'll make some good racing. So let's get out of the test drive. And we're going to get into the race. Now, based off... So here's the good news. Good news is short track, point and shoot, probably, hopefully, knock on wood, should suit the car pretty well. Bad news, well, somewhat bad news. Fuel with this. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start the race because I'm going to be sitting on the line for a bit. So race guesstimate based off lap times, I'm going to say I'm going to go 32 laps. I think it is going to be a 3-stopper. And let's get into the race if I can find out how to do this. So again, same, if you've watched the previous ones, same buckets, same cars in front of me, same delays. But so as we know, this car is very thirsty. and it's got a tiny fuel tank. Because again, it's a rallycross car. It's meant for heat races that you're what are only what like 10 minutes at most, and we're putting it in a race to do 3 times that length. So what what I found here is you'll get about I got 13. You'll get 13 laps easy. If you do a smidgen of fuel save, you'll probably get 14 out of it. I think when I did it, I got about halfway around the track. I think I got to the hairpin before the last couple of the set of turns, when it started sputtering. So a little bit of fuel save, you can get 14. But honestly, I think this is just going to be another 3 stopper, just so that everybody runs flat out, and then you've got a pit stop to kind of play with for strategy purposes. So let's go ahead and get going, and hopefully I don't get run into. All right. Yeah. Again, cold tires. All right, let's see if I get it right this time. I'll get a little more aggressive there as the race goes on. I can just about get back to full throttle, but pushing wide there. It's a little. That also might be I may not be turning enough. Okay, a little bit late there. The tires are protesting a little bit. A little bit late there. So I'm going to hug the inside down here. The car. See how it kind of got a little unsettled? I just barely went off. That's why I think out of the last turn, yeah, I'm going to hug the left side, but I'll probably start bringing the car back to the middle of the track by start-finish. As you see, it's a really quick dab on the brake. And not turning enough there. A little bit of wheel spin. That was a little shallow. So I got on that inside. Oh, come on, turn. I got on that inside apex, and it just pushed me out just enough, and then it hit the outside curbing. And at that point, it's just, I'm not going to try and force the car to do anything. Ooh. It's the driver trying to sort out what it wants to do. Someone had it coming together there. There's some room on the inside because I don't know where that Jag is at. Yep, he's going in the pits. I think what I'll do is I'll run this one out for 13 laps. And then I'll pit it lap. And since I got to do 3 and I need to really think about when I should pit, I'll probably then just pit it lap 20. Oh, that's going to be dicey. And then probably just do a final one at lap 30. And again, you know, I got wide there. It's like, fine, I'll just be wide and get back on the gas. It was a little late. But you notice, you know, for that chicane, you know, once I kind of release the brakes, I'm really not getting back to the gas and just trying to find that right amount of speed so that the car so I just focus on the steering. Unlike this corner where I totally went wide. The car understeered a little bit, so I just got to give it a little more braking before the final corner. Excuse me. Oh, this is going to be... Yep. Caught one of the P2 cars. Just because I don't trust the driver car. I don't know what he's going to do. Looks like one of the GT cars got it way wrong at turn 1. The B2 cars are definitely quicker, but I think the only advantage I'll have is navigating traffic. Will that be enough to make up the difference? That's a cheater line. It's like two of the P2 cars got together. That's a little better. That's not good. Got a little too greedy on exit. And very greedy on that exit too. So yeah, just that final turn, if you're gonna take the wide line out, just be careful. You know, the car's gonna understeer out. So you probably won't be able to commit back to full throttle until you're really almost entirely out of the turn. That could have been a little better. A little too slow. %10 fuel left. Excuse me. Remember, I gotta. I'm boxing this lap. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay, pit in. Very easy pit in. Just go wide. Stay wide. Past AI on the inside. You can go full blast there through there. So yeah, it should be an easy pit in, easy pit out. But this is the first time I've done the pit lane here in this car. So let's see where we need to, how aggressive we can be coming out of the pits, and where do we need to brake. So stay all the way. So yeah, excuse me. Okay, so if you do your practice against the AI, they're a little suspect coming out of the pits. But it looks like, hopefully I'll get a clean in and pit in and pit out on the next stop. But it looks like when you exit the pits, just go ahead and accelerate up, brake right where the curbing turns red and white, and then down to second gear, and then kind of rejoin and Try not to hit any oncoming traffic. A little early because, again, yeah, they definitely need to work on it. If this version of Yas, or just even this configuration of Yas Marina is still in Forza, they really need to work on the AI's pathing out of the pits. I'm not going to force that pass. I'll get him on exit here. Again, we'll pit on lap 20. A little bit too late getting on the brakes for there. And again, the other thing, I don't know if it's picked up on the camera. I'm trying to keep my eyes up as much as I can. So as soon as I get on the brakes, I'm looking for that apex. Out of the corner, look for that apex. The other racing cliche, car's gonna go where your eyes go. That's why I almost clobbered the wall several times at Rio. Yeah, that left-hander at the bottom of the hill is treacherous. It's still a little bit late. Now it also could be as I'm not braking hard enough, at least maybe on the initial braking. Oh, like that. That's not enough brake. I was just checking the laps. Lap 17, okay. Excuse me. I would expect turn one is probably, obviously turn one's going to be the most ideal place to pass. Especially if you've got a braking advantage on your opponent. I think what I've learned is I think the controller users that are still on controller can have a little bit better braking. They can be a little more aggressive on braking. What do we? Oh, okay. I'll give it a little bit of space, just in case. Gotta be careful because that radical is just gonna be like, chicane? What chicane? I don't see a chicane. You can even see it's like if you go for that turn in and you don't think the car's, you know, it's pushing a little bit or isn't getting to that apex like you want it, just back out on the throttle just a little bit, just feather it in as I push wide there. I can't talk and drive at the same time. Okay, clear pit in, looks like it. Okay, so yeah, that kink is a little sharper than the car likes. So if you don't want to do what I just did, you probably best just ease off the wall as you get there, ease off the gas as you get to that kink. All right, so let's test the pit out again. I think you can just accelerate straight down, keep it in the exit lane, brake when you get to the curbing on the right side. Yeah, right side. And then I'll turn in late so I don't come across on the first apex, and then just kind of then take the normal apexes as best I can out of that first chicane. That's probably the safest way to merge back on. Make that turn? Yeah, it's like that. That's a very interesting line you have there, Mr. Lamborghini. Remember to turn the wheel more there. Late getting the brakes or just not getting it done. Nope, thought about it. If I was going to try and set something up, I might look here. If not going in, then to see if, and again, a lot of this is probably just going to be looking for opportunities where people go wide. They miss the braking. There's definitely places that look very tempting, but the gaps, the windows you see will close very, very quickly. Just a quick dap of the brake. All right, got clear traffic in front of me, or clear track in front of me. Let's see what we can do. With the amount of AI out here, I don't know how many clean laps I'm going to have. I'm turning in a little early there. That's why then the car is going way wide. Or too early and probably too quick. Or too much speed going in. And you can get away with a lot more of this inside curbing than you think. But it is still risky. Don't hit me. I'm nervous. I see a car coming out of the pit behind me. You know what? I want to take my third pit now. See if that gets me out of lap traffic and so yeah, you get caught right before you go into the wall. Okay, last pit. And I kind of got messed up on the curbing. So it is the curbing, the red and white curbing on the right side, where I'm going to try braking again. So try not to hesitate this time. As I lock it up. So that's kind of what my intent is. So maybe brake a little bit before that. A little bit behind on the steering there. I can't believe that worked. I actually made a nice racing move. A little bit slow into there. Oh, the radical getting a little squirrely. Well, if you want, you can probably just ease off the, if you want to be a little less aggressive through that corner, you can just ease off the gas as you turn, as you kind of, just about as you get to that first apex. And the car may just naturally slow down on its own. Ooh. Okay, I'm clear. All right, so let's try that again. Third, fourth. Yeah, you can just back off the throttle a little early if you want to be a little more relaxed, but you'll probably still need to, you might need to feather the brake a little bit, trail brake it a little bit through there. I think I prefer the aggressive way myself. All right, one final lap. It's not going to be clean because I'm going to catch that radical about halfway through. I got a little bit on the apex curb. Yeah, put your lap down. So, so again, I think when I did, based up about, again, if it's about a minute lap, in theory, that would be 35 laps worth. But again, factoring in that we're making two more stops than we normally would during the race. That's why I backed it off a couple of laps. So 32 might be the magic number. 33, maybe if Matt wants to go a little bit longer, it's up to him. But definitely 32, 33 laps for Thursday's race. Again, knock on wood. Hopefully, this is a good competitive race. Again, it's more of a point and shoot track. Uh, you know, we'll see how it goes. But with that, I'm going to take a break, go have dinner, relax a little bit, uh, and then I will debate whether I want to do Dubai full tonight or wait and do that tomorrow. I'll probably do it tonight, but that one's going to be fun. So hope you guys are having a great Friday evening, and I will talk to you soon. And happy racing. And I need to be better about prepping this live stream. All right, see you guys later.